Hey, hey, hey. It is Monday, uh, August 5th, and it's just like any other Monday. Yeah, it might be a special Monday for you, and I hope it is a special Monday for a whole lot of y'all out there. And so I'm happy to join you in your special Monday. Very, very happy. So here we go. This is the Shake Up with Dr. Kit. I just decided I started a different way this evening. Shake Up with Dr. Kit. And the only reason we have something to shake up is because we always have somebody on here. But listen, we're so glad to know that you're still hanging in here with us after all these months. It's a little bit over a year now, and we're still going, and we're not going anywhere. We're going to be here for the duration because we have good information that we want to share with you. And it's not just coming from me. The good information comes from the people that we have on the show. Now, if you like the show, you know what you got to do. If you want to see it thrive, you know what you got to do. You got to what? Like, follow, share, and subscribe. You like it, follow, share, and subscribe. And like I keep saying, not just for me. There are a lot of other YouTube organizations out there which have some really good information for you. So, you should like, follow, share, and subscribe to them too. This is the new wave of informing people with genuine, unscripted information that is good for you and that can be good to you. Okay, so like, follow, share, and subscribe to a number of YouTube organizations out there. All right. And here, what else do we want? Listen, we'd love to have you become a part of this show. We'd love to have you be a part of this. So if you would like to be a part of this, just contact my folks at drkitspeaks@gmail.com. That's DRKITSPEAKS at gmail.com. And we'll be sure to get you on now. You can come on camera. You can come off camera. We'd rather have you on camera so we can spread a voice with a name, face to the name. You know how that goes. And so, but if you don't want to, listen, what's more important is the information that you're going to share with us. And you do that all the time. You got some really good information, okay? And I'd also like to say some of you nice folks who put some good information up there. If you have questions, put them in the box, put them in the chat, okay? There are questions, suggestions, whatever it is that you have, just put them in there, and my guests and I will answer those questions or attend to those for you this evening. And just because you're always putting up some really good information, okay? We'd like some of y'all to put in these good info up there to come and be a part of the show. Just live it up and just come on and we'll enjoy you and we'll take care of you on the show. Okay, remember now, look right behind me. What does it say? The fear of failure is what? The enemy of success. It means that if you don't try, you won't succeed. And if you're afraid of trying, if you're afraid of failing, you won't succeed because you won't try either. And everybody's got something good that you can share, okay? So we want you to take that into consideration. The fear of failure, it is the enemy of success. All right, enough of me. So we have a good show for you tonight. We got a wonderful person, and you know the way we do it here. Oh, by the way, I'm running ahead of myself. There is a shop. I have a store on my website now. On the website, of course, and so you can go directly. It's drkitspeaks.com/shop, and you can get something from my store right now. The major item, the item that we have up there is a t-shirt. All you got to do is just go on there, follow the prompts, and you just put in your size and everything else, and we'll get it out to you. Get it out to you. The fear of failure is the enemy of success. If you know some friends that you would like to wear this t-shirt as a gift from you, the fear of failure, the enemy of success, please, just buy one for them, okay? And they will be forever grateful because they will be among some of the great people who are saying, I'm not afraid to fail because I am a success. All right. So thank you so much. All right. And we're going to populate the store as we move along. All right. And so now we come down to the reason why we're here. We have a great guest this evening. an amazing guest who is doing, and I'm not just saying this, just to be talking stuff, because I know, and I know it's good to say these things about about our guests, but we get some really good guests on our show, and tonight is no different. So we have this wonderful person who is doing some amazing, positive community issue that will impact individuals, family systems, and also impact the quality of relationships, both now and moving forward. So I'm going to hush up and say, come on in. You know how they say on TV, come on down. Your favorite show, come on down. And so my guests, my wonderful guests, and on this show, we always get our guests to introduce themselves. This way you can tell us whatever you want to tell us. And after that, we will kick the ball and we will just keep on rolling. All right, so guests, wonderful guests, thank you for coming on. It is my privilege to have you on here with us tonight, okay? It is indeed my privilege. So why don't you just go ahead and tell us who you are and, just kind of give a little overview of what you want to talk about, and then we're just going to put it together, okay?
Okay. First, I want to say thank you for allowing me to be on your platform today.
You're welcome.
My name is Cassandra. I am the proud owner of Little Einstein Learning Academy. We were formerly known as Crayola Kids, but I had to change the name due to some trademark issues with the actual Crayola. So now we are officially the Little Einstein Learning Academy.
Okay.
You can find us on Instagram. And we have been operating for the past 15 years. I am home based, where I service children 2.5 up to 11 years of age.
Ooh.
My capacity is 14 children. I currently have 12 children in the morning with 3 children that comes after school. We offer after school latchkey as well. The reason I went into becoming an owner of my own establishment, I worked as a director for 5 years at a child care facility. And then before that, I substitute at various school districts. And something just told me, from what I've seen being in the classroom, is what sparked within me to say, okay, I know a better way. I see a different way. So let me open up my own. And that's when I went and got my license, got everything taken care of. And within no time, I had families signing up and registering, and I had a waiting list. And so I wasn't able to take as many as I would have liked to have taken as many. But I don't like turning children away because children need someone. Anybody that enrolls in my program, I treat them as a village, because once you enroll with me, I'm now a part of your village. So I can't do all the things that maybe your other relatives can do, but I'm the one that when the child is here, we offer nurturing, love, and care. And these are just some of the things that I feel that has attributed to me as an adult. Growing up as a child, those few things I just mentioned, the nurturing, the love, and the caring, and the togetherness, I didn't really have that. So I told myself, if I ever open up a program or a school or working in the school, I'm going to give them those traits that I didn't feel that were given to me. And having those traits and giving them to a child, it not only spark and wake up what's the potential inside of a child, but you don't know how far that child can go just off of maybe one word you tell them. And they may not have never heard that word, and then they finally hear it for the first time, and then they just take off and soar just off of that.
Wow. I thank you I thank you so much. I like the idea that you kind of prepared yourself
Mm-hmm.
to start out on your, excuse me, on your own journey.
Mm-hmm.
You taught in other places. You
Mm-hmm.
facilitated in other institutions, and then you decided um, to do what you felt you could do
Mm-hmm.
without obstructions of other
Mm-hmm.
people, authorities, and boundaries and frameworks
Mm-hmm.
that would kind of restrict you.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get to that, though, what drove you? What took you? What was it about you? Here is the question. It's always about you. What is it about me when I'm talking about me? So I'm asking you, what is it about you? So when for you to answer, this is what was about me. So what was it about me? If you were to answer this question, what is it about me that made me decide to start working with these little kids? Oh, but from what age again? What age again?
For mine, it's 2.5.
2.5. Okay. And what is it about you that made you decide to start out with, and I'm going to use this metaphor, a
Mm-hmm.
lump of clay,
Mm-hmm.
and you began to form this lump of clay.
Mm-hmm.
Each one that came in is a lump of clay, and you formed them into individual people, and
Mm-hmm.
you poured into them, but they accepted it in different ways. You are creating people. What led you into saying, I need to do this kind of work?
Okay. Each child that come to the door have something of me. When I grew up, when I was growing up, each one that come through here, I see it, not from the child per se, but from the parent.
Okay.
Sometimes when I see parents and some of the things that they may say, I've heard it, and some of it don't be all positive; it be negative, and I've heard it, and I just tell myself, okay, well now that they're here, let me shake up some of that. Say, let
Mm.
me shake up some of that and eliminate all that negative. And so when they're here, we only want to say positive things to them. You
Okay.
know, when we don't tell them, no, you can't have that. We explain to them why isn't a good time right now to have that. And then after we finish this, then we're going to go ahead and you can have this. Because
Mm.
if we say no, they hear that a lot when they're not in school. No, put that back. You can't have that. Leave that alone. So if we explain to them why, they understand and they know that, okay, I can't do this right now because I'm getting ready to do this. And I know that when I'm finished with this, I can start back on this. Versus if I say no, put that down. All they heard was me tell them no. They never learned the reason why I said it. So we don't say no. We want to give them a reason why we can't do it at that moment.
Okay. So, like the older ones, it'd
Mm-hmm.
be easier to give them a reason. But how do you explain that though to the 2.5 year olds and the three who are more tactile and
Mm-hmm.
they're easier to lead and they're looking for more direction because they don't have that because
Right.
what I love the way you said that when each child that comes to you they
Mm-hmm.
see they are a part of you not because
Mm-hmm.
directly because of them but because of the parents.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
so how do you transfer that information instead of
Oh,
saying no and
mhm.
to the other kids, the younger ones?
Okay, well, I can do a real time example. Um,
Okay.
I had a 2.5 here. The parent came this morning, and the 2.5 came with the toys. Now, there's no toys allowed unless we're doing show and tell.
Okay.
So I explained to the little 2.5 year old. I said, okay, we got to get down their level and look them straight in the eye versus standing over them.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
can so you can connect together. And then
Hmm.
you just explain to them, okay, well, mom or dad is going to leave this in the car for you, but would you? And then I'll show 5 different activities that we have in here. Or which one of these activities in here would you like to play with? So, for example, if they're coming in here with a car or a toy truck, or they got a baby doll, then I'll give them another baby doll that's already here. So they have the same thing. It may not be the baby doll that they actually want, their favorite doll, but it's still a doll. And I just explain it to them that, mom will have this in the car when they pick you up. And sometimes they might still pout, but then they'll go ahead and gravitate and go ahead and get it. And then they'll go ahead. When they see the other kids, they really just go ahead, and they're not even paying any mind anymore.
Okay. I really like that. One of the things I love about what you just said was the fact that you give them another of the same or close to it that they came in with. So if mine is like this, and I can find another something pretty much the same like this, I think this is just me going crazy now, okay? Really, I think that somewhere down the road, you are teaching them also how to accept other people, places, and things, okay, that didn't grow up where they grew up. Not the same kind of truck, not the same kind of dollar, but they can appreciate it. I mean, how far do you think that kind of a transformation or thinking can go in transforming them into being more accepting of people across the board?
Well, we do it not just at the door, but we do it throughout the day. We do it sometime in our morning circle. We have it where every morning they have to say something positive about each other. One thing. Oh. Whether I like your shirt, I like your tie, I like those pants, your hair looks nice. They have to just say something nice and positive every day about that person. And then we sit down in a group sometime, and I give them I put 3 toys in the middle of the floor and on the carpet. And then what I'm doing, the purpose of it is to see the sharing part. I'm showing them to share. The sharing is caring. I'm teaching them to share. Or if you want a toy, you'll say, "Excuse me," and you call the child by their name. "May I play with you with this toy?" And I also tell them, if they say, "Well, no," and then what I'm telling them is, teaching them is, don't tell them no. Explain to them why you don't want them playing with you at this time. And then when that happens, I show them what else can they do in the midst of, waiting to be shared with that particular toy. And then I'll ask them, well, what else toy do you want to play with? Let's you and I go and play. So I'm getting them to gravitate more first towards me. And then I'll ask them, okay, well, let's get some other friends to come and join us. So I'm showing them how to ask them instead of telling them, come over here and join us. Ask them, would you like to join us in playing a coloring game? And then let them tell you what they want to tell you. So that way, the older you get, then you will understand and know how to ask someone to come in and join you versus just saying, "Oh, come on over here," or taking a toy that you want. So we're teaching them a lot of things all in one.
Yeah, you really are. You really are doing that. How well? So when you say that to the one who said no, how do you try to reshape them so that they may or may not say that again to somebody else? Because you know how it is. Sometimes when you say no to a child, they can't really make sense out of them saying no to the toy. They're saying no to me. How do listen, I'm just asking some questions here, and I'm saying what happens, because if a child said they're saying no to me, that child can get wounded, emotionally wounded, and feel like something's wrong with me, So a scenario like that comes up. What do you do? I mean, how do you do that in your teaching? I mean,
well, if a scenario comes up like that, and then what I do is, because I have another assistant here, so I'll take that child, and then I'll go over to another corner, just that child and I'll explain to the child, well, why do you think that you should say no all the time if someone asks you for something? They usually will tell me, I don't want them to play with my toy. And then I say, well, these are all of our toys. Okay, these are all of our toys, and the toys are here for us all to share and play with the toys. And I said, we have to get along, and we have to share. And then I'll ask them, well, why do you think we should get along with each other? Why do you think I should care, or we should care about each other? So they'll usually have, give me their own words. And then usually when they think about it, then they want to go over and give them a hug.
Okay.
But something must have triggered in them to where it's touching, and they want to go over and give them a hug.
Yeah. Okay.
And I always tell them, ask your friend, is it okay if I can give you a hug? You have to ask them, because that's their personal space.
Yes. And some people may have been violated at some level in the past. Yes. Yeah. Listen, hold on. There are a couple of here you go. Ellen G. I love your positive approach with the children, but wondering if an emergency situation come up where immediate result is needed to prevent harm. Would you ever use the word no?
No. And that's a good question. If something comes up, that's good, because we practice a lot. And she mentioned emergency situation. We practice a lot of fire drills and tornado drills. And I always tell them, if we're running out of here and we have to get out because of a fire, and say you drop your favorite toy, or you drop your favorite purse or backpack, or you drop some candy, I ask them, what should you do? Should you run back and get your candy? Or should we just ignore it and just go ahead and get out the door and run to safety? And of course, they said, we get out of here and run to safety. And then I will always ask the question, well, why? Why not go back and get your candy? Why not go back and get what you dropped? And then they'll say, well, I want to get out safe, and I don't want to get hurt in the fire. So during that time, it's really no time to say no. But if I need to tell them no in that instant, at that moment, I would tell them at that time, when you're trying to get them out for safety, it probably will come out as no. But then once we get to our safe haven and we get counted for it and we come back, then I'll explain to them why I said no. Because I still have to hold myself accountable, because I've already told them that we're not going to tell you no. So I have to hold me accountable and explain to the whole body, and to explain to them why I said that.
Okay. Wow. Thank you for that. So there was an okay. And I thank you for that. Was a LG. Thank you, 6'5". Listen, great teaching style. Hopefully it is reinforced. Now we're really getting into it. Hopefully it be reinforced at home, and eventually we will have some amazing adults. 6'5", 240. You're really, yes. Please respond to that.
Okay.
Because that is an amazing question.
Yes, it is. I was just getting ready to say that. That's a good question.
Yeah.
What we do in that instance is I have a mandatory parent meeting, and we have it every year. Now, what I do at the meeting is I offer and show them techniques and different things and ways of handling the children at home when they're doing this. Or I teach them not to tell your kids no, but do this. Now, you have some parents that may be on board, but then you have some parents that may just want to do it their own way. And then a lot of parents will tell me what the older ones, they will say, yeah, it's this generation. And I have to explain it to them so they can see it from my lens. It's not the generation. This generation is left behind. This generation is out here fending for themselves because they have no support system. So in the midst of how we would like for them to do it, they're just doing it the best way to their survival, which is why I like to come in and offer resources, parenting workshops, different things to help educate the parent. We have things posted, things listed for them, and they can also come over here if they need anything. I always tell them, don't ever let your pride be the face of everything. If you need something, you have to ask. Just come to me openly and ask, because the main goal is you have to build a positive relationship with the parents. Once you do that, everything else is open. But if you don't have a positive relationship with the family, it'd be more like, oh, it's an attack. But if you have that relationship with them and that bond with them, they're more open and willing to do some of the things that you're asking them to do with their kids while they're at home.
Right. I really like that. And there was another one. There's another. I think the first one we had, I can't remember exactly what it said, but that too was a very positive one, very positive. And so with the parents now, when the parents, they can go home and continue the work at home because they have now embraced this. That takes a lot of work off of you having to stop and start. There's now a continuity going on. Now, do you kind of see that? The kind of a continuity component that like do they go home and say things like what they call you Miss who? What?
They'll call me Miss Wilson.
Well, no, Miss Wilson say we can't do this. Some of these, if they have older siblings, no, Miss Wilson said you can't do this.
Yeah, one little girl did do that. Mom came to me the next day, and she said, I told so and so to do something, and she told me, she said, we can't do that because Mrs. Wilson said that when you read the book, you have to hold the book like this a certain way. And then she asked her, well, did you go in there and clean your room? She said, I already cleaned my room because Ms. Wilson told us that when we get up in the morning, get up in the morning, these are the things that we should do. And she started calling the things out, and she's 4.
She's 4.
So they're listening. They're listening.
Wow. That's amazing.
They're listening.
And the last input, the most recent one we had is that it can create a whole new generation.
And that's the whole base of it. That's what I'm trying to do. That's the whole base of it.
Can you talk to us about this whole new generation that you're trying to create in your little Einstein, academy, and what are you trying to move them away from and move them into?
Okay. I'm moving them away from dependency.
What do you mean by that? Dependency, like how?
They'll say, "Oh, can you put my coat on?" I say, "Well, go ahead and show me that you can put it on. You can do it.
Ooh.
Show me what you can do. Show it to me. Let me see." And so then I'll give them my full attention. I say, "Go ahead, I'm waiting." I say, "Oh, you can do it. Put your coat on. See, you doing it. You put your arm in. So what do you do with your other arm?" So I'm talking them through it in a positive format, and for them to see that they're actually doing it themselves versus somebody always running to go do it for them. And that's another thing that I had to speak to the parents about. Give them some independency at home. Give them some type of leadership abilities at home. Everybody wants their child to be a leader, but you have to follow too sometimes as well. But put them in leadership positions when they're at home. Put them in charge of setting the dinner table.
Okay.
Give them some leadership chores or tasks to do. Put them in charge of making sure all the shoes are all lined up by colors.
Okay.
And that's what their job is to do. Because we give them jobs here.
Okay.
We don't give them the average jobs, like the average jobs I see in the schools, the caboose, the line leader. No, we don't give them those type of jobs. The jobs we give them, I can look at a child and I can see a child who shows leadership ability, and I'll give that child to be my teacher's assistant. Okay, then you may see another child. Oh, you write really well. You like to draw. You do a really good job. So I'll put this person in charge of drawing the shapes. So that's my artist.
Okay.
So I'm giving them jobs, not so much the basic average ones, but we're moving more into a Century 21 type lifestyle for them.
Wow. So based on their behavior, you kind of tie them into a role, and yeah. So
Yeah,
so
because
you're
some of
basically
them just acting out because they weren't given the tools to tackle that when it come. So then I'll sit down with them and I'll ask them first. I'll give them 4 emojis. It's these emoji bottles that we have, and I'll put all the emoji bottles on the table. And I say, pick up the emoji bottle that describes your feel. How do you feel? Because I need to know how you feel first.
mm-hmm.
Because if you're really, really angry, let's breathe in and calm down for a minute before we start speaking about why you're angry or what made you so angry, what caused it. So that's how I can assist you a little bit better. Because you don't want to just jump in and what's wrong with you? What you mad at? So these are the
Yes.
things that I'm changing because this is how it
Yes.
was given to me as a kid growing up. So I'm changing the narrative.
Exactly. Yeah, you're reframing all of that
Yeah.
stuff. One of the things, and thank you. Thank you. Uh, we're getting some really good affirmative comments about the work that
Oh,
you're
okay.
doing
Thank
here.
you.
They're popping up on the screen here. But here's one, and I thank everyone who's participating and and just putting some things up here for us to look at. Some we can address, and like we try to address as many as we can, if not all. But here's something that really kind of struck me really well.
Okay.
Was when you said, teach them how to do things.
Mm-hmm.
Line the shoes up by colors. I'm going
Mm-hmm.
from back. I'm going backward. The one that really jumped out at me was because we do this. My wife and I.
Mm-hmm.
We
Oh.
sit. We sit at the table and we eat at the table.
Oh, okay.
So when you said, teach them how to set the dinner table.
Mm-hmm.
Now the dinner table becomes an amazing place where they can begin to talk about
Mm-hmm.
other things, their feelings, their thoughts, and
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of stuff comes out
Mm-hmm.
at the dinner table, and they build a strong relationship there. So with that saying, how how about lunch? I was going to push that a little further. How about lunch? How do y'all do lunch? Or do you do lunch? Or how does that
We
work?
before COVID, we used to
Hmm.
do the family style
Okay.
where we all sit at the table and all the food is right there and everybody serves themselves
Okay.
with the scooping and
Mhm.
and passing things along and proper mannerism at the table. Could you call everybody their name? Ava, could you please pass me the corn? Susie, could you please pass me the bread? So we're teaching them call each other by name, and you're asking them, could you please pass it? And once they give it to you, it's always thank you. And that was the family style where we all was at the table sitting and they were just talking. We just opened up conversation.
Mhm.
So now when the COVID came and it was over, so what we did was um, we still at the table together eating, but we just haven't started back yet with the actual serving of it of the food. But what the food is right there, and we do have them still wash their hands and do all of that, and they come out and they set the table. So we're still teaching them the skills, although COVID kind of screwed a lot of things up, but we still teaching them the skill set of it, how to
Okay.
put the napkin on the table, where the fork go. And I always teach them that fork, FORK. Okay, that's 4 letters. So we know that that's LEFT. Your fork sits on the left side. And then you go with the spoon, SPOON, and that's your right, RIGH.
You just need to quit. You know that. Listen. I'm like a kid at Little Einstein Academy, right? Listen,
And
hold
that's
on.
the goal, just what the name say.
Listen. Can you? That is amazing. as old as I am, I've never heard,
Yeah.
the lettering and stuff and the
Yeah.
numbers. Can you tell us, how you arrived at that or where you got it from? Because I think that stuff is amazing. It is
Just
amazing.
just learned it on my own. One day I was in there just playing with it, and I
Okay.
said, and I told myself, I said, okay, spoon, SPOON. I said, wait a minute, they got 5 letters, and I said RIGHT. I said, okay, so the spoon goes on the right, and then I said, okay, let me see fork, FORK, and I said LEF. I said, okay, that goes on, so the fork goes on the left. So
You ought
that's
to
how,
quit,
and
that.
that's how I taught them.
Hey,
And that's how I taught them how to do it. So when it's at the table, I be seeing them LE. I be seeing them, do like this. They know that when they spell it out, and they know how it should look. And it's also a picture of it. It's a picture of it that's posted, so they get confused. They can look at the picture
okay. That is
for my
amazing.
visual learners.
Yeah. So but yeah, right. I gotta ask you that. Does the Detroit Free Press know about you? No.
I don't think they do. Everybody know us really well as Crayola kids. Before I had to change it to Little Einstein. So, but yeah, either way, like I tell everybody, same top tier quality service, just a different name. Everything is still the same. It's just a different name.
Okay. Same
Yeah.
top tier service. Okay.
Yeah.
So when the kids come in, do you kind of how do you decide if they're capable or able, to go through, you know, through your program? I mean,
Okay.
because some kids,
Yeah.
diagnosed or not, they do have some latent
Yeah. Delays.
capacities, or the issues that would interfere with their learning ability on the normal spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if you kind of ferret those out,
Mm-hmm.
or if you work with them. Can you address that just a little bit?
Mm-hmm. Well, we know children are children.
Yes.
If a child comes to me that might be on the spectrum, that may have may be autistic or have diagnosis of ADHD or any of those sort of things, what they will do is they'll come and they have to bring me the IEP plan. They have to bring me any forms or resources that they currently use, and I have to have copy and documentation of all of those things. And then what I do is I'll reach out to those services that they already are utilizing to see if they are able to come in with us.
Okay.
Whether
Okay.
it be 2 days a week, 3 days a week, or they can only do one day, just some type of day that they can come in and work with the child, and that way we can see how that specialist, will want us moving forward to continue it, while we're here. And
That
and if a child comes and they don't have any of those resources or any IEP plans, now what we do is we don't diagnose them ourselves, since we're not doctors, so we don't diagnose them ourselves. So when I see a child that has developmental delays, or I see a child that may be on the spectrum, or I see a child that possibly could possess symptoms of ADHD or ADD, what we do is I just document, and I document. And I keep documenting and documenting. We reach out to the parents, we talk to the parents face to face, and we just go over things. And the way I talk to them is, you don't want to attack them. You don't want to come out and say, "Oh, I think they may." What I do is I ask, if, for example, if a child constantly beats on the table a lot, and then I'll ask the parent, um, "Have you noticed that your child, your son or daughter, they beats on the table a lot at home?" And they may say, "Oh yeah, they do that all the time." And I say, "Okay, well, can you elaborate and tell me more about it?" Because I'm trying to hear, what
Mhm,
could be the reason for that.
mhm,
And then
mhm.
sometimes a lot of that is, if a child is beating on the table, now what I do here is I try to give them an activity geared towards that. Because
Mm,
now I got to see, okay, let me see why they beat on the table. So let me give them a drum.
okay.
So they beating on the table. Okay, so let me give them something where they can beat on the table. So I'll give them those drumsticks, or I'll give them an actual drum and they can beat on that. Or I'll sit in front of them and I say, all right, let's play. I said, oh, you want to play a game? So I bang on the table with them. I said, okay, let's do it 5 times, and we'll do it 5 times. I said, okay, let's clap our hands. So then when I say, okay, now what else do you want to do? And then they'll show me what else they want to do. And then sometimes it's not always they may be diagnosed with something. It's just that he may be, what's that word I'm trying to use? That kinetic, I can't think of it to save my soul. He may be that type of learner.
Like a kinetic style learner?
Where he musical. He had something. Okay. So what we do is we sing his work to him.
Yes.
So you got to document and find ways to do that. And when you do that and you see that it works, I jot it down. So when I speak to the parent, I'm sharing it with the parent now. I found that this is working here when he beats on the table or why he does this. So I'm explaining to them a solution that I did here, and they can take it home with them. And if that should he do that at home?
Okay, I like that because what I'm hearing here is that you're not looking at the beating on the table as a problem.
No,
you are looking at the beating on the table as there is a meaning to this, for one, and how can we use that in an educational way so that they can continue to do that, but do it in a way that helps them to understand themselves and to grow and to grow. But of course, I'm sure if it gets if it travels to another level, of course, then it makes sense to get them to get them tested.
Yeah. But also what I do is I have the class join in, and I say, okay, everybody, when I ring this bell, we're gonna all be on the table. So now this child that constantly beats on the table, they don't do it because they don't hear the bell. So they may learn through kinesthetically. It's that word I can't think of.
You're right.
So they may learn like that. And when that child doesn't just beat because I didn't ring that bell.
Right. I remember this way back in Psychology 101. It was Skinner and the Rats. I think I can't. Sometimes I just can't remember. Operant conditioning. That's what it was. Operant conditioning. But where they do something and they get rewarded for it.
Yeah.
Yes. And that what you just said just reminds me so much of that. So you don't tell them to stop. You find a way to help them to continue that, but it has something positive as an outcome. So now that they're learning that there is some normalcy about something that may have been thought about to be abnormal. And so they don't see themselves as something that's wrong with me. Now, everybody's doing this, if everybody's doing it, hey, listen, now I got some friends who like to do what I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Man, I tell you got some really, really, really good ideas, So when you have like special days, you get parents to come by and have like parent like parent teacher kids days, and they bring lunch and stuff like that for the kids and have a good little.
Oh yeah, and the parents, they can vouch for that. We do a lot.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Growing up as a child, I wasn't exposed to a lot of things. Wasn't really going to a lot of places. So I said, oh, okay. So I get them out of the house, because in the house is not a one shoe fits all. And I like to think outside the box, not necessarily think in it.
Mm-hmm.
You can learn what you can learn in it, but okay, now let's go outside the box and let's see what else is out here to explore outside of the box. So we go all over the place. They probably have been everywhere. Cheesecake Factory, downtown. We go to the movies, skating, out to eat. At nice restaurants, not just a restaurant, but you get nice restaurants that you're going to. It's just a lot. We celebrate everything: Mother's Day, Christmas, uh, Friendsgiving, luncheon. It's just a lot of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, man, I could ask you a whole bunch of questions all night long. You know, listen, Einstein.
Yeah.
We know about his contribution to human intellect. We know about that. And yet you call him and say, little, little Einstein. I mean, like when they get this idea about this man who contributed so much to the knowledge of humanity, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what kind of a picture they're getting of themselves for their own possibility to contribute to society.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're basically lifting them up. It's
Yeah.
you're really taking them away from well, your mama was like this, your daddy was like this, your granddaddy was like this, everybody was like this, so coming down every generation. So again, I guess I'm stuck. I'm going to be like this. But then when you reframe their idea and say no, you,
Mm-hmm.
where did what happens to them when you tell them about the transformation, however you tell them about the transformation in their lives? How do you get that smile on their face? That's one thing. And how do you get parents to say, wow, I can help my child to go through this?
When the parents see their kids, when they come to me, they may not know something, or they may not know how to read, or they may not know how to write or count or something. But then when the parents see it on the Instagram, when they're actually seeing it, and then they'll DM me and give me a message, and they'll tell me, oh my goodness, that is so wonderful. Oh, you are top tier quality. They say your standards are so high, and I do appreciate it. And it's not that it's not that I'm trying to make my standards high. They are high, but I don't focus on them as my standards so much. My ultimate number one goal is to give the children possibilities and opportunities in life by taking them out and showing them things. I take them to the hospital so they can see doctors.
Oh, you do?
I take them, we would go to the hospital for Nurses Week, and we go in there and we give them the nurses' baskets. And then I show them what a doctor looks like. I show them what a teacher looks like, a librarian, and I even show them my attorney. So I'm showing you that you can be these things, but you just gotta stay grounded. You know, still be a child because you're not an adult. So we still keep them on a child's level, but we read books to them in the classroom about lawyers, about doctors, about astronauts, about this and about that. So there are different books and things that they can read. Well, some of them can read it, and then we read to them. And then you also learn through dress up. When you have dress up time, they go in and they dress up, and we don't just always have superhero costumes. Our dress up consists of men ties, a briefcase, women's heels, women's skirts, slips, stockings, a man's briefcase, a belt, a jacket, a suit. So when they put these things on and they learn how to do it here, so when they become up here, they know how to put on a suit, they know how to tie a tie, they know that put on some dress shoes, they know how to put on a belt. They know, and then the women, then the little girls, they know how to put a dress on. And I always tell them, your outfit is not complete without your purse. So get that purse and get them shoes and get that skirt. And, and I say, make the best of what you have. More will come, but you got to take care of less first, because more can come. More going to come, but if you can't even take care of the less,
right?
What you going to do with the more?
Right.
So work with what you have. I tell them, wash it, iron it out, press it, hang it up, fold it up nice and neat.
Are you sure you do all of this stuff? I mean, you are amazing, right?
Yeah, I do it all as if they're my own. As if they're my own.
Amazing.
I gotta stop.
Ellen G said she wants to sign up for. Do you see how Ellen G said, I want to sign up for your class.
Yeah.
Listen.
We have a really nice program. What they hear me saying, this is what we do. We have a really nice program. This is what we do.
Okay.
We're folding clothes. I teach them how to fold towels. I teach them how to put the socks together when they matching their socks. When you come in, line your shoes up nice and neat against the wall. I show them how I want it done. And then every morning I'm looking to see, are they doing that without being told to do it? Routine and schedule. That's what we get them on. Routine and schedule. That is important in a child's life. Routine and schedule. Now, we know sometimes life can get off balance and you don't have that routine and schedule. But as long as you got those in perspective and it helps you think. You know, you can have an old messy room, you got a messy mind. Clear your mind, clear your area, clear your space. Now let's think.
You know, I gotta ask you this. Funding.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know it's gotta cost you. I mean, yeah, it's just got to cost you some money to do this top tier educational, institutional kind of a teaching. And it's not just teaching, but modeling also. I mean, it's that everything has some cost to it, okay? But, you know, as much as you feel comfortable telling, you know, Shannon, you know, I mean, what kind of funding do you get? Because I mean, this is some. If you don't get funded, public funding or somebody private funding or you know Bill Gates Foundation funding, you know, well, yeah, I'm serious, you know. The kind of work you're doing, you ought to get funded for this, and you ought to be able to get you know to do this full time. You ought to be able to have an academy that's larger. You ought to be able to get 20 kids and three or four teachers. You ought to be able to do that because I mean, this is stuff that is so amazing. You know, I mean, it's incredible what you're doing. You know, so how do you take care of all of that?
We receive funding through DHS, Department of Human Services.
Okay.
It's a subsidy for parents, you know, who need help paying for childcare. And the subsidy, I explain to parents that the subsidy is just what it says. It's a subsidy. It pays so much, and the parents may have, you know, a little small copay. When I say small copay, they may have a copay like $40 every 2 weeks, because the state will pay everything except for that. And then that copay difference, the parents will have to make up that difference.
Okay.
So now, and then I have private pay parents that pay out their own pockets. They pay privately. Back then, a lot of people that applied for grants, we would get a grant. They gave us like a grant that was maybe, I guess, 3 years ago. And I'm a big saver. I know how to save. And because I've been open, like I said, for 15 years now. So yes, I've saved over the years of that course of time.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm able to keep my program like that.
Wow.
They eat the best of food. I don't like we eat fresh fruit. We're not eating fruit out the cup or, you know, like that. I'm not saying nothing's wrong with it. We just don't do it. We eat fresh fruit, fresh vegetables. I do fresh string beans, the ones you gotta pop them. Fresh peas, fresh corn, collard greens, cabbage, salads. You know, it's just fresh stuff that I'm making. Versus, so they can, you know, I'm showing them other ways of eating. You know.
Healthy eating.
If I serve nuggets, I'm serving the better nuggets, or organic plant-based nuggets.
Wow.
You know, like that.
I mean, you're really taking this to another level, though. You know.
Yeah.
Where you're kind of training these children's, you know, their palates to become accustomed to certain types of food.
That's where I'm going with it. Because if you're in it, and it's the routine and schedule of it, and you seeing the better things, it almost, when you get older, that's what you want. That's what you're going to aim for and strive for. but I'm showing you how to keep up with the little things. Take care of what you have now. Just take care of that. So when that more come, you know how to handle it versus just out here just being reckless with it. We're teaching them how to save. Everybody have a mason. Everybody have a container with their name on it. Everybody has a container with their name on it, and I give them $5. Everybody got $5, and I want to see how many will still have $5 come Friday. Now, some may say, "Oh, can I have $1?" And I say, "Okay, so if we got $5, I take $1 out. How many dollars do we have left?" And so I just try to teach them the value of $1. Once that dollar is spent, it's over. Once it's spent, it's over. So don't spend it all up. Because then when you really want something, you're not gonna have the money to get it. And now you gotta go begging somebody else and bothering somebody else to give you something that you should have had on your own. Save your own. So we teach them how to save their money.
And that is amazing. Listen. I could do this for I don't know how long, but we've come to the end of this. Cassandra, this is amazing stuff. We're helping
them. We're helping them. Yeah.
It really is amazing. So maybe not the Detroit Free Press, but somebody in Detroit. No, I'm very serious because you're doing some stuff here and teaching. Fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. You're way ahead of the school system. You know that, right? And not only that, you're doing preventative work because now you're saying fresh fruits, salt-free, fresh vegetables, salt-free. It has its own natural produce, its own natural sugars, its own natural salt, its own natural ingredients inside of this thing. And you're teaching them how to live right. So you're keeping them out of the dentist's office, keeping them out of the primary care office. You're teaching them how to train their bodies to absorb the right kinds of foods, and and without having to, they're not like prepared food. I mean, you're doing some amazing things.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. Do you have like a little book or something? Do you catalog this stuff and say, "Hey, listen, no. Let me tell you, you ought no. You ought to write. No, you really need to write a book and have it on Amazon for people to know. However, you might want to do that. However, you might feel free about.
I thought about it. I did. I thought about it. I did. Oh yeah, I did. I thought about it.
Well, maybe you need to take some time and do that because the stuff you're sharing here, I think it needs to get on as many platforms as possible because you're saving people's lives and money and lifestyles. You look at all the things that you're doing, with this academy. I mean, you're taking a very, very healthy systemic approach. That's what you're doing. And you just can't, and not only systemic approach in the way you engage your children, but the way you engage the community, the doctor's office, the lawyers, all of these people, and the parents. I mean, these is kind of stuff that I think should be documented, and it should be out there for however you want to put it out there. I think it's amazing. When you write your first book, please get me an autograph copy. Autograph copy. I need that.
Okay.
Because one of these days, 10, 15 years down the road, some of your kids going through high school, they're going to be talking about, "Oh, Miss Cassandra told me to do this. Miss Michael, I learned this at this place." Well, how do you learn it? "Oh, I learned this way back." And they need to know. They need to know that somebody like you are out there taking care of our young children and making sure that not just the future, but now is in good hands.
Yeah.
And the now is just a part of the earlier continuum of the future, which is the next along the continuum. Okay. So they need to really understand that. Oh man.
Yeah. And also to keep them successful when they leave here.
Yeah.
I teach them all the way up to kindergarten, and most parents don't don't take their kids to kindergarten. They leave them here. They don't
Okay.
want them to go to the school yet. So, but for first grade, you do have to go. When they leave here, I don't want them to just be successful here and then leave here and go somewhere else. When they go to another school, I need the parents to give me the child supply school list. I need them to give me the uniform policy, and whatever that the classroom itself may need. I need them to give me that. So when the child goes to school, they have all those things because we're going to provide it. So
Your organization provides that?
once they leave here,
Yeah.
I supply a lot of uniforms, the shirts, the socks, the shoes, the belt, whatever that uniform consists of at that school. The school supply list, and then sometimes they may have a classroom list where their classroom may need Clorox wipes, something like that. And then we'll supply what's on that list, and then we'll bag it up and give to the parents. So when the child goes off to school, there's still that success level is still there because it's going from here to there.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm going to take the liberty of, I need to find a way to tell some folks that, they need to make a commitment to your academy, because they're not just making it to your academy, they're making it to the world to come, because every child that you keep into academics, okay, you're keeping them out of, where they're keeping them out of. Keeping them out of places to go. And just because they go to those other places, it doesn't mean that they don't have the intellect. They have it, but they utilize it in a different way. And we want them to become the doctors and the lawyers and the nurses and the preachers, teachers. And if you're going to be a garbage man, be the best garbage man.
The best one that there is. Yeah.
I remember one time. It was in the middle of summer, and the sanitary engineers, as they call themselves, they went on strike. Man, you want to smell some smell around here? And it was at that time when people valued those men. You understand what I'm saying? They became valuable. But before that, they were just garbage men. No. Okay. When you have a need, you discover how important other people are. Well, let's make them important before their importance become needs-based.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just take it and say, listen, somehow we need to find a way to get some money to you, everybody, whether it's a Cash App or whatever it might be. Okay. And somehow we need to be able to do that. We need to be able to do that. And I don't know if our engineer can get that up there in the next little while. But listen, we're going to close it out now. Okay. What would you like to leave? What would you like to leave with? I just want to thank you so much. We are dealing with the heartbeat of society. We're dealing with life as it is and life as we want it to become in these wonderful young people. And in that you will be credited for so much, even when they don't tell you. When you see them, know that you were credited for that. Not only that, they will tell their friends, and they say, "Oh no, we can't do that." You will be referenced for the rest of your life. And because they said to somebody, "No, you can't do that. No, you can't go there," you just saved a life. You know that, right? And when you save a life, you are keeping happiness within a home. You know that when you keep happiness within a home, you're keeping happiness within a community and a society. Just one person. You understand? Yeah. So it's that. I'm not. Listen, folks out there, it can't be too much. Whatever it is you want to give, I'm not begging. I'm encouraging you. Encouraging you. So we need to find a way. Okay. We need to find a way to do that. Okay. Listen, as we close it out, listen, what would you like to leave with us? Because you've left so much. What else, I should say, would you want to leave with us?
If you know of anyone in the Metro Detroit area who is looking for top tier quality child care services, you can find us at Little Einstein Learning Academy, LIL_Einstein Learning Academy on Instagram. And you can also send us a message there and we'll get to you. Or you can go on our website, www.littleeinsteinlearningacademy.com. And on there, you can fill out the form on there, hit submit, and it'll come to us and we'll reach out and we'll take care of everything from there.
Okay. Listen, I got a proposition for you too, but you know, after we shut it down, you go back in the back room there, you know, wherever you go,
Okay.
you know, don't just don't go away. I got a little
Okay.
little proposition here for you, okay, that you know, to help to get the word out there for you, okay? So anything else you want to say? I'm now gonna shut it down.
And I want to thank my viewers for watching in and chiming in, and thank you all for the wonderful questions.
Yes. They were certainly appreciative, and I am too. You know, for the wonderful work you're doing, and very articulate in the way you were able to respond to all of these questions. And you know, we thank you. I thank you. We'll see you in just a little bit. Well, that's it for now, folks. It was another wonderful program here this evening. You know, our guest this evening was Cassandra, and you know, Little Einstein. You know, man, she's doing some amazing work. So we're gonna find a way to, you know, just do something so that she can get a little bit of help, because you know, she's really touching the hearts and minds, shaking up the hearts and minds of young people. That's what the shakeup is all about. The shakeup is not about trying to get fame and fortune. The shakeup is all about how can we help ourselves now and teach one generation to be able to take care of themselves and to take care of others. Okay, so thank you so much. And listen, you know, before I close it out, a couple of things I want to say. You know what you got to do. You got to like it. What else you got to do? You got to like it. You got to follow. You got to share and subscribe. Please, 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 for Little Einstein, like it, follow it, share, and subscribe. Everybody needs to know about this, like all the other programs. But I was just touched by you know, by the people that she's working with. That cohorts of people, young people, like, follow, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to be a part, no, we would love for you to be a part of a future program with us, okay? And so just go on drkidspeaks@gmail.com and we will get in touch with you and accommodate you. And last but least, I got a store. I got a little store, and we have one piece of merch, as they call it up there, merchandise, and this is it. This is it. If you like that, it says the fear of failure is the enemy of success. The fear of failure is the enemy of success. And so please go on there, drkidspeaks.com/shop. All the details for your purchase will be right there, okay? So thank you so much. Have yourselves a wonderful week, and we will see you on the next Shake Up next week. Dr. Kit, back in the driving seat, shaking things up with new ideas, with old ideas reframed into something new, okay? So we'll see you next week. Share it with somebody, all right? Looking forward to talking with you again next week. Okay, bye-bye.